Hello guys, Tivik here and welcome back to Cataclysm. We are following the life of Jonathan Richardson, or well, it will probably be his death at some point. He has thought of an idea on how he could kill that zombie brute, but it is kind of a daring idea. He will need a few items. But especially, he will need nails. Because the nail can be shot with the nail gun, and that is something that will help him out a lot. And he just found a large kitchen with a lot of items, but this building he cannot carry items from. He puts a poor dog out of its misery. Knows that there is a zombie dog not far away. And he is bit, but it is not bad. It hurts though. And he butchers that corpse, but there is a flashlight that he might use, and also a food dehydrator, but that is very heavy. He makes a note on this building that this is something he needs to come back to. But he will need more nails. So he uses the nail gun, reloads it with 67 nails, so it should do for quite some time. The question is if he could fire in bursts. He has it ready at least. Takes a deep breath. He cannot see the brute. He will need to lure it out somehow. He can spot it now. It is still in the building. Or is it outside? It is outside. So he sees the brute come running at him, so he quickly grabs the nail gun. He can fire fairly short distance with the gun. He knows that he cannot outrun the brute. It is just way too fast. He knows that this is risky business. So he starts shooting. The zombie bites him. The zombie is heavily injured, so he grabs his crowbar and smashes it. The brute hits him hard, but it misses, and it's dead. He breathes a sigh of release. He picks up a cut purse just to make sure that he has a little bit more space to carry items. It's not a lot, mind. So he waits for the zombie to arrive and get closer. He kicks it a couple of times, hits to the head with the crowbar. He is in quite pain though, But he's carrying a little bit of aspirin, so he quickly eats a pear. And he grabs a hold of the shopping cart. And he can drop off everything that he won't need, like feathers, the thread. The matchbook you won't need for now, the fur hat and sweater, the bone and the meat. The food and bread and everything, he just dumps it off in that. So, he now has a very good item to store and move items around. He decides to go inside the building that contained the hand press and die. He pulls the cart through the window and picks that up. He also picks up some leather pants and makes sure that he has some more warm items. More nails that he can carry. The dresser is full of good items, so he picks up everything that he can find. There's also a utility vest, which he knows that he will need. So, he moves the utility vest over to put it on. And just a quick look for him. You can see that he's a little bit encumbered, but not too bad. You can see a soldering iron off in the distance. So he picks up the PDA, the soldering iron. He decides that the spray can be useful. He finds an ammo. Picks up the nail guns. He never knows if things might get damaged or lost. And also he finds a military rucksack, which might be a very good thing to have. He decides to just pick up all the clothes because he can practice his sewing on that. And he finds a novel. He laughs a bit, but he picks it up, makes sure that he has it. He actually finds stuff in his own size and decides to make sure that he has it with him. Some food. But nothing more in that building, so he decides to leave it by one of the back windows. He thinks for a moment to gather up the bed somehow, but he cannot. He does find a way to carry it on that. He knows that he can make a shelter kit if he has enough items, but it's not likely that he can find all these items at the moment. He will need to start to make traps to make sure that the monsters that are around his building, his safe home, can be contained. He walks into the kitchen and makes sure to pick up everything that he can find. There's a spray can. He doesn't quite know what he can use it for, except for spraying graffiti all over the place. But the flashlight will be useful. Also, the food dehydrator will definitely be useful. So he puts that into the cart and moves over the batteries. It's now got a little bit of battery capacity there. So this building, he now notes to himself that it is empty. He does the same with the room with the wood hand press and die, because he already has that in. Further down south there is a grocery store. But the coyote, the grabber zombie, might be a danger for him. There is a zombie inside the store, and he moves in behind a car to drop the shopping cart. Backs up to make sure that he can find a better place to fight the zombie. He waits just inside the door. The crowbar ready. Sees that there are a lot of items still in the refrigerator that he didn't think about looking at, so there's some cherries. The gallon of rotten milk, but he knows that he can use that packaging for other items. Also a heat pack, very useful to heat up stuff, even though it's temporary. Cannot quite see where that zombie is, but he hears it. He heads down to the shop. Takes a quick look at the time and he is at 14 in the afternoon, which will help him quite a lot. He sees a towel in the store, so he picks it up, and some plastic bottles, some bleach. Items that he knows he won't really have any use for. More aspirin. He sees a zombie in the distance and decides that he needs to find shelter, cover from that zombie. He hides behind the counter. The zombie is making a pathway through the shelves, just destroying them as he goes. The grabber zombie grabs a hold of him, but he manages to fight it off. He groans at the pain, but realizes that he has a health kit, or rather a way to heal himself up. Found some ravioli. Some hardtack, that might be useful. Some seasoning. Just some beef jerky and some books, but it might be useful for him. Bandages and some drinks. There is another cold store. Wow, that's a lot of items for him. Oh. He is definitely a little bit tired, but he gathers up everything that he can see and puts it in the cart. He makes a note to himself to come back here for steel later, for steel chunks. but makes a mental note that it is looted. He still has quite a lot of time, but he needs to take care of his wounds. So he bandages up his torso a bit, cleaning out some of the scratches, and knows that he can probably sleep. He sees a dangerous zombie approach. Did it see him? It did. The boomer zombie. One that can and will blind him. Bile splatters on the window and it breaks through. And he decides to fight it off and it explodes, covering him in bile. He cannot see anything and he wanders across the hall until he realizes he's just close to the door. What a horrible creature. Next door is another, probably competitor store. He glances through the window and can see lots of items, but he will continue with this in the next episode. See you then. Take care. Bye bye.